Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. Now, I need your help. I need you to go donate to my PayPal. I'm going to put a link to my PayPal address right here so you can donate to my channel so I can do this show full time instead of just part time. But I want to talk to you guys about the Hawaii false alarm missile alert that they sent out. I think it was last week. It's either Friday or Saturday. Don't really quite remember, but when I first saw it, it popped up on Yahoo's newsfeed, because I use Yahoo instead of Google. So don't use Google, because I done a news story about that too. But I was just wondering, why the hell would whoever is in charge of sending out alerts to your cell phone, why would they send out a false alert about a ballistic missile? I was like, that's stupid. It doesn't make any sense to do that. I got an article from The Guardian. I'm gonna go over it a little bit. An alert about an incoming ballistic missile sent Hawaii residents, I will add, into panic for about 30 minutes on Saturday, till emergency officials announced that the message had been sent in error. The alert, which was sent to cell phones, said there was a threat inbound to Hawaii and said a resident should seek shelter. This is not a drill, it added. Tensions between the Trump administration and nuclear-armed North Korea have increased over fears the regime in Pyongyang may be able to reach U.S. territory with a nuclear-armed missile. Then it goes on a little bit about how people were panicking. Some people just ignored it because they said, maybe it's, just BS, or they're just lying about it. So I listened to NPR talk about it and didn't like their coverage because I don't know the host of the show for 10 o'clock a.m., but all he did was pretty much just ask people how they felt whenever the alerts was going on. He didn't say anything about, well, how come it was accidentally set off and then they didn't just turn it off like half a second later, so it was only like it just popped up and then just go away immediately, that kind of thing. And then if it was an accident, he didn't question anything. He didn't say anything about how come they didn't put an alert right after they took it down to say, hey, this is just an accident. We didn't mean to send off this false alarm. Why the hell are they sending false alarms specifically about ballistic missile? And if it was a mistake, why did it go to Hawaii? So he didn't really question anything about it, why it was going on, or anything like that. And I did watch Debbie's video about it, and she talked a lot about how, of course, it's a deep state trying to stoke people's fears so they could start another war with North Korea. So you guys should check that video out. I'm going to try to put a link of her video in the description box below. But I do want to say that the deep state and the establishment just want to start another war, because all the fucking wars that Obama started under his presidency just wasn't enough for the deep state and the war of profiteers. We've been in Afghanistan for 17 years now. We're still in wars with other nations. We're still in we're still in Iraq. We're still fighting in Syria. We're in Somalia. We still might be in Libya. We're fighting in Yemen. There might have been something about Kenya or some other African country that we just started bombing into. But we're in all these fucking wars, and they still gotta stoke fears and still hint about, oh well, they're so dangerous, they're the boogeyman, so we gotta watch out for them. We don't need to watch out for us, because we're the ones that keep trying to overthrow governments just so private companies can make a huge fucking profit. They don't want to say anything about that at all. And of course, all the mainstream media is definitely not going to talk about how the United States and South Korea has been doing military exercises together over the last, 3-4 months. This was also when Obama was in office too. So you can't just fucking blame Trump on stoking fears about North Korea or trying to ramp up tensions between us and North Korea, because Obama did the same fucking shit too. It's just that nobody paid attention to it then. But I just want to do a real quick video because the main point is that the deep state did this shit on purpose, just to either just scare the shit out of people, or they wanted to scare the shit out of people and see how people would respond to, like, the threat of death is coming in like 30 minutes. Because I looked at a couple articles and it talked about how intercontinental ballistic missiles, they actually go into space and then they go and re-enter the atmosphere. So I mean, those, and at least for ICBM, since those are big and so those are so big and so powerful that they're actually going to shoot them into space, I'm going to assume that those are really engineered to just destroy fucking cities. So to say, oh my gosh, go and seek shelter, there's a ballistic missile. I mean, it's going to probably destroy a whole city, so everybody's going to be fucking dead for the most part. So it's a little humorous that they say seek shelter, because I'm very doubtful that even a basement is going to protect you if a ballistic missile lands 10 miles away from your house, something like that, or a nuclear warhead. Because yeah, if it's a nuclear warhead, everybody's fucking dead. So it's even more egregious that the deep states keep on stoking fears and keep on ramping up tensions about, oh well, we got to worry about nuclear war and all this old bullshit, because they're willing to pretty much massacre millions of people just so a few people could profit off of this. And then in this article for The Guardian, it talks about Hawaii's Governor David Ige. He said, oh, someone just pushed the wrong button. So it's like, they're fucking lying to you. Of course, it wasn't just one guy pushed one button that sends out a fucking ballistic missile alarm. And of course, that was the only alert that went out. There was nothing else in the news or the radio or anything else that talked about how there's a ballistic missile coming. So it's another way that I'm sure quite a few people knew that it was just a false alarm, as that was the only alert and that was it. So just be prepared, because the deep state and the establishment isn't done pushing war against North Korea, because they're not doing all these scare tactics just for nothing. They're going to keep going. Alright, I'm sorry, because I actually forgot that I was planning on doing the Hawaii false flag operation with the Las Vegas false flag operation. Because the Las Vegas shooting happened, I think it was in October, and I did a quick video, I think the day of. Because I said, you know what, I had some good opinions about it, so I'm going to talk about this. And I think a few days later, Nika House, he shot a video about it was a false flag operation. I was like, no, that can't be the case. No way our government would bullshit and lie about something so horrific as just a mass massacre. Then I guess I was also kind of scared of actually finding out the truth, so I didn't watch that video. But then Debbie from the same Progressive, she did a video, so I manned up and grew some balls and I watched her video. I think it was like the next day or something. So then after watching it, was like, holy shit, yeah, it's fucking apparent that they just fucking lied about that whole situation. I also didn't want to believe that it was a false flag, because like I didn't really see who got a good benefit out of just making up that there was a mass shooting. Like, who benefits from that at all? So, but I'm gonna do a quick take on the false flag, because here's a video. I'm going to show two videos. She showed a few more, and if you guys want to see me do another video about the lies that the deep state perpetrated to create this false flag, I'll do another video and show more videos and like other information about it. But one is, because these two videos were also in Debbie's video, but I'm gonna start with the one about a few of the victims, and it starts with the two twins that got shot. I'll try to sync it up pretty good because I haven't really done this before. But let's get on with it.
The spray of automatic gunfire rang out. Gianna was hit in the hip.
I felt it like hit my hip, but I mean, I knew like I was okay.
Let's hug.
And I'm not like a huge expert on military weapons and weapons in general and guns, but I am a big fan of first-person shooters, Counter-Strike Go. I've played that a lot, and I mean, automatic or assault rifles, military-grade assault rifles, are engineered and designed to kill you, and not just kill you, but kill you from a long distance. Because the handguns are for close-range combat. Assault rifles are from medium-range combat, where you could kill someone from hundreds of meters away. You don't have to be, 40 meters away or shorter to kill somebody with that. And then with the rifle rounds, from what I understand, is they're engineered to have that point so they could, whenever they hit a person, they're really engineered to have a larger impact on you. Never hits to kill you easier than even a handgun round. So, and then the video showed that she pretty much, well, Debbie, she went more into the details about how all these dressings and all these bandages weren't even real bandages, but for the girl in the purple, it just looked like they just put some bandages around her hip. So I mean, if she got shot in the hip with an AR-15, it would have looked a lot worse than that.
They have suffered a more serious wound, a shot to the shoulder that punctured her lung.
I noticed that I got shot, and then I fully went into shock.
18-year-old Addison Short.
And the other girl that had a punctured lung, they had a neck brace on her. And first I didn't look at that at first, but actually one of my old teammates from high school football, he had a punctured lung. When you have a punctured lung, you don't need a neck brace. That neck brace is, just for neck injuries pretty much. So that's just weird that they threw that on her. And it didn't look like she, had any wound on her shoulder. So that looks really suspicious too. And then for the next girl,
Another shooting victim. She was hit in the leg.
And it just felt like fire, and it just took me down, and once I got back up, it literally felt like my foot was just dangling.
She says a good Samaritan.
and then with the girl that got shot in the leg, they did have a bandage around her leg, but since it was in the ankle area, man, with the rifle round, I don't know, it just seems like there'd be a big ass hole, and she pretty much would have half of an ankle right there instead of just a bandage around it. But that might be all I wanted to show for this video.
Samaritan hauled her into a taxi that rushed to the hospital. All she could think of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, those are the two ones. Those are the three victims on the show for this. And then here's this motherfucker right here. Talks about how he got shot in the head. If you get shot in the head, that's pretty much a 99.9% chance you're dead. So, I mean, he said he got shot in the head and he was still conscious. And let's go on with this.
And I felt it. It was like spraying out. And so I held it, and we ran to another cover, where four other people helped me. They took their shirt off, wrapped it around my head, and helped me get to the road. And then she asked the police to help, and they stopped a random passerby, and she let me go in the back of her car, and she brought me to the hospital. It went in and went along my skull and came out about 3 inches later. So if it was an inch over or even a different point of trajectory, it would have been in my brain and I would have been gone. So
Where did it go?
it came right in the back, right in the center of my head, and it came out about 3 inches later along my skull.
Like on the outer surface.
Right here and here, and it went along my skull.
When we got to the hospital,
Yeah, so this guy said he got shot like point blank in the back of the middle of the head. The bullet just barely went in the skull, went to the left a little bit, and it came out. So I mean, that shit really happened, he'd be fucking dead. It's like, I think Debbie said this was like the most egregious one because ain't nobody getting shot in the fucking head with an AR-15 and fucking living. And then there was other video that showed other details. Like one other big issue was that there's no ambulances going on. It was just maybe some cop cars and some police sirens going off, but no ambulances going on at all. There were some other things that are going on that said, makes it really reveal that it was a false flag. But with just those 3 or 4 victims saying, "Oh yeah, this is what happened," I mean, that's just, look at it, you know, that's fucking bullshit. Deep State's up to no good again.